The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Zethkar's chitinous claws clicked against the marble podium. His 4 eyes swept across the assembled representatives of 1,000 worlds, their various forms of breathing apparatus creating a symphony of mechanical whispers in the vast dome. The human delegation will now hear the Council's final ultimatum, Zethkar announced, his translator converting his clicking speech into the universal tongue. Captain Sarah Chen stood slowly from the human section, her simple blue uniform EI, stark contrast to the elaborate regalia surrounding her. At 43, she had seen 3 border wars and the first contact protocols, but nothing had prepared her for this moment. The weight of her species' future pressed down on her shoulders, like a collapsing star. "We're listening," she said simply. High Counselor Vexthun, a crystalline being whose body refracted light into prismatic patterns, rose from the central dais. When he spoke, his voice resonated through the chamber like breaking glass. Humanity has existed in our galaxy for precisely 147 standard years since first contact. In that time, you have demonstrated a disturbing pattern of expansion, resource consumption, and military buildup that threatens the stability our council has maintained for 12 millennia. Chen's jaw tightened, but she remained silent. Your species breeds too quickly, explores too aggressively, and refuses to accept the territorial boundaries established by civilizations far older and wiser than your own. You have rejected our guidance, dismissed our warnings, and continued your reckless expansion into 17 disputed systems. The chamber's atmospheric processors hummed as thousands of alien respiratory systems processed the thick tension. Therefore, Vexthun continued, the Galactic Council hereby issues this final ultimatum. Humanity will immediately cease all expansion beyond your current 41 systems. You will submit to Council oversight of your military forces. You will accept a population control protocol administered by Council Biologics. You have 72 standard hours to comply. And if we refuse? Chen asked, though she already knew the answer. Zethkar's mandibles clicked in what his species considered amusement. Then the combined fleet will enforce compliance. 350 vessels representing 47 member species. Your entire military consists of, 63 operational warships? Chen nodded slowly. 63. Against 350, Vexthun's crystalline form pulsed with satisfied light. Surely even humans can comprehend such mathematics. The human delegation requested a recess. In the small antechamber assigned to them, Chen activated the quantum communicator linking directly to Earth Defense Command. "Admiral Rodriguez," she said, when the grizzled face appeared on the hologram, "they want us to submit to population control and military oversight or face annihilation." Rodriguez was quiet for a long moment. Behind him, Chen could see the controlled chaos of the command center, officers moving with purpose between banks of screens and tactical displays. "What's your assessment, Captain?" "They're not bluffing, sir. 350 ships, most of them larger than our Dreadnoughts. They've been building this coalition for decades, probably since they first realized we wouldn't stay in our little corner of the galaxy." "Recommendations?" Chen stared at the wall, thinking of her daughter's birthday party last week, of the colony ships preparing to launch to the Kepler systems, of a species that had clawed its way from stone tools to the stars in a geological eye blink. "We say no, sir." Rodriguez smiled grimly. "Agreed. Give them our answer, Captain." The council reconvened, expecting submission. Instead, Chen stood and delivered a single word. "No." The chamber erupted in a cacophony of alien expressions of shock, outrage, and disbelief. Vexthun's crystalline structure flashed angry red. "You would sacrifice your entire species for pride?" "Not for pride," Chen replied. "For principle. You call us reckless, but we call it curiosity. You call us aggressive, but we call it determination. You fear our expansion, but we've never conquered a single inhabited world. We explore. We settle empty systems. We trade with anyone willing. If that threatens your ancient stagnation, then maybe your 12,000 years of stability were built on something that needed to be threatened." She turned to address the entire chamber. "Humanity rejects your ultimatum. We will not submit." To population control. We will not surrender our sovereignty, and we will not stop reaching for the stars. Zethkar's claws drummed impatiently. Then you have chosen extinction. Maybe, Chen said. Or maybe we've chosen something else entirely. 72 hours later, the combined fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the Sol system. 350 vessels arranged in perfect battle formation, a sight that had broken the will of a dozen rebellious species over the millennia. They found 63 human ships waiting for them. But something was wrong. The human vessels were different. Sleeker, more angular, bristling with weapon systems that didn't appear in any council database. And they were moving in formations that defied conventional tactical doctrine. Admiral Cretan of the Hegemony flagship opened a channel to the human fleet. You are outnumbered more than 5 to 1. Surrender now and your deaths will be swift. The response came from Admiral Rodriguez himself. You're looking at our defense fleet, Admiral. Allow me to introduce you to our real navy. The space around, the human ships began to ripple and fold. Then they emerged. Dreadnoughts. Hundreds of them, each one larger than anything in the combined fleet. They materialized from hyperspace with mathematical precision, their hulls bearing the scars of rapid construction and the promise of terrible purpose. Impossible, Admiral Cretan whispered. Rodriguez's voice carried across all channels. You gave us 72 hours to prepare. Did you really think we spent it composing surrender documents? For the past century, we've been building these ships in hidden shipyards beyond the galactic rim. We call them the just-in-case fleet. The human dreadnoughts powered up their weapon systems, energy signatures unlike anything the Council had ever encountered. You wanted to know what makes humans dangerous, Rodriguez continued. It's not that we're violent. It's not that we're reckless. It's that when you tell us something is impossible, we take it as a challenge. When you threaten our future, we build a better one. And when you give us an ultimatum. The Dreadnoughts' weapons locked onto their targets. We say no. The battle that followed lasted 4 hours. When it ended, the combined fleet survivors limped back to Council space with a new understanding of humanity's place in the galaxy. The humans, they reported, were no longer the junior species seeking acceptance. They were the ones who would now be setting the terms.